Guys, very good. Starting. So this is my CPU model, guys. This is my CPU, and this is my CPU speed, and this is the how many CPUs you have, how many sockets means number of physical CPUs. Cores means logical CPU. Logical processors means in the single core, it's again into two type. It's the threads. Virtualization enabled. Look at this one. Virtualization enabled. It's very important. Okay. So I will tell what is the importance of that one. And of course, you can see L1, L2, L3 caches also. Guys, next one is RAM. See, if you see, this is my total RAM. And I use two RAMs to make it 12 GB. One is already 4 GB is there and I added a 8 GB to it. So then it has become 12 GB DDR3 model. And you can see the speed 1600 megahertz. As I said earlier, so this is the my CPU speed. This is my RAM speed. See how much difference is there. This is 2.6 gigahertz. This is almost 1.6 gigahertz. So lot of difference is there between the speeds. So how the speed will be matched because of cache memories only. Okay. And of course, I will tell another details about the CPU, RAM and all. So one more second, just I want to see you how it is. CPUs look like. This is how CPUs look like. It is a very small chip in size. Okay, in mobile phones and some devices. Okay, there are integrated. So the chip CPUs are integrated on the motherboard. But here in this one, CPUs we can easily remove from the motherboard. On motherboard, there is a socket and you can insert the CPU like this. Okay. So next one is RAM and ROM. So when it is comes to the RAM and ROM differences, RAM means what is RAM?
Random access memory.
Very good. Random access memory. What is ROM? ROM is
Read only.
okay, as per the memory, except that one, there is no relationship between RAM and ROM kind of stuff. RAM function is different, ROM function is different. RAM store different way, ROM stores data different way. Okay, so RAM is a volatile memory. ROM is a non-volatile memory. Okay, it is what is a volatile? What is a volatile? When power is off. Okay, so when power is off, data lost. Okay. What is a non-volatile memory? What is a non-volatile memory? Even when even the power is off, data remains in chip. Okay, that is a volatile memory, non-volatile memory. Guys, I want to explain what is this RAM and ROM. So normally some people will tell this is a temporary memory, this is the permanent. Okay, how it is become a temporary is very important. Guys, already we have a picture of this one. Already we have a picture like this. So look at here. I last batch, last 2-3 batches, I got a to tell how to tell the explain the RAM. So we'll see that one. Guys, think about it. I have a well. Well is there, so well or a pond or something is there. it contains some water. Okay, you have a something like a sump kind of stuff, like a storage container, something is there. So whatever it is, okay, this is, there is a water source. This is where you keep it, source, and where you store it or keep it or where to give. That's it. Our RAM is like a bucket. Okay, RAM is like a bucket. So you fetch the water. Okay, you fetch the water means you take the water and pour water here. You take the water, carry it, and pour the water into this side. Again, you go fetch the water and carry it and pour the water. It means what is my bucket is doing? This bucket is storing a data or a water permanently or not permanently. Power is off, no power is off. It is not like that. Okay. So whatever it is, it load the data and give the data. Again, it reload the data and give the data. So that is the only single function of the RAM is important. RAM function is, RAM is very important device in the network. That is very simply say, it load the data from the peripherals. Okay, from the our IO devices or peripherals, what are the name you put it. Okay, you load the data and give the loaded the data to your CPU. On CPU give, so it load the data into RAM and it will give it to like this. It means it not required. You no need to shut down your PC or turn off your PC to remove the data in the RAM. The RAM data is a temporary, whether you have a power or no power. Why? Because you load the data and you move the data is like a temporary, like it is just a bucket which carry the data from one place to another place. That's it only. It's just a flow. That is a RAM, read only. So random access memory, volatile memory, and whenever the data is, whenever the system is off, automatically data is lost. It's a temporary way of storing data. It's like a fetching and pouring kind of stuff. ROM is a chip, so the built in the chip contains the data. Okay, permanently store the data in the chip. Okay, it's a permanently chip data, which is called as a main memory also. Main memory. Both are primary memories, but RAM is called as a main memory. Okay. So we'll come to the RAM. So we'll come to the RAM and we'll discuss about a RAM very fast. Okay. So not very fast. So small details. RAM is random access memory. Random access memory. There is a two type of RAMs are there. One is SRAM. Another one is DRAM. SRAM is used as a cache memory on the CPU. SRAM is used for a cache memory of the CPU because it's built based on a pure form of transistors, and obviously it is a costlier than a normal RAM. So to avoid the cost kind of stuff, so we use SRAM for a small SRAM for a CPU and DRAM for a regular RAM purposes. Okay, so DRAM means, what is SRAM first of all? Static RAM. DRAM means dynamic RAM. Dynamic RAM. So it is used for cache memory and it is faster than DRAM. Okay. Like that. So this DRAM is further developed into SDRAM. Further developed into SDRAM. So like that. So there is a several type of RAMs are came up, like EDO RAM. Okay. NVRAM. Non-volatile RAM is also there. So don't worry. Non-volatile RAM is there. VRAM, video RAM, ECC RAM, correction, error correction control RAM kind of stuff is there. ECC RAM, EDO RAM, NVRAM, RDRAM, Rambus dynamic RAM. Okay, like this. So what is SDRAM? What is SDRAM? Synchronous DRAM. SDRAM means synchronous DRAM. Okay, this SDRAM okay, this SDRAM further develop into DDR SDRAMs. DDR means double data rate. Okay, double data rate. DDR SDRAM, DDR2, DDR4. So these are the
Sir,
yeah. Tell me.
in present scenario, which RAMs can be used for the PCs?
DDR4 RAM we are using. Our latest laptops like 8th generation, 9th generation, 10th generation. So all are DDR4 RAMs only we are using. I'm
In
using
above
DDR3.
RAMs, they cannot be used for.
Yeah, I'm using DDR3. My laptop is DDR3. Old laptop. It is CPU generation version, 3rd generation. So that time it is DDR3 is there. So how to use only DDR3.
If you use DDR4 for your laptop, sir?
It uncompatible. Very good. Uncompatible. So you should not use different type of RAMs. So compulsory check the compatible RAMs only.
Okay,
How to know which one is compatible? Yeah, tell me.
Based on the generation, they can be
Yeah,
used
based
for.
on the processor model. Yes, very good. Based on the processor and processor model. Okay, so you can check it. For example, I open a
Like
processor that is
i3, i5.
yeah. This is 10th generation i3, and also look at this one. Look at this one, and you can see this is a processor socket model, cache, and this is the. But what I said, processor and processor model. It is Intel processor model, and also verify how much maximum RAM it will support. It's saying, see it is, see 128 GB dual channel means 2 RAMs maximum you can insert in the motherboard. Okay, maximum 2 RAMs you can able to put it. Total RAM is 128 GB. Total RAM is 128 GB, and the RAM speed is up to 2666 megahertz, or a 26666, like a 2666 megahertz, whatever the name you put it. Okay, so this is the memory size. You change the RAM, so like you put a different type of processor. Okay, this is a another type of processor. You know, it's i3 processor with a little bit different is there, but you can go through once again. So which RAM it will be support, you can find it from the details. Okay, if you yeah, I will go to some other processor. It is AMD processor. You can see it's AMD Ryzen 5 processor. So we can see 6-core processor it is, and you can also find how much RAM is required. See 3200 megahertz processor, DDR4 channel 2. So means maximum 2 type RAM. You can also see. This is a one kind of RAM. It is. You can see this is the RAM, and it's 8 GB RAM. This is operating speed is 3200 megahertz. So which processor is suitable for that RAM? Based on that only we have to configure. Compatibility is very important. So currently we are using DDR4, but in DDR4 different speeds are there. So make sure that speed must be matches. Okay. So selection of RAM based on CPU and motherboard. Motherboard sockets also important, right? Like based on the CPU and RAM, so you have to select the DDR. Okay. For example, Intel, right? So I am copying this line, just searching in a Google. See, it is Intel website. So I'm open the Intel website. So I put a site. So you see, this is 10th generation processor. This is the model of the processor, 10th generation processor. Number of cores, number of threads, total speed, maximum speed 4.4 gigahertz, 128 GB RAM. So what type of RAM I should use? A DDR4 2666. Number of RAMs allowed 2 means total is 128 means 64 plus 64 you can use it. Internal graphic cards are there. Internal one. Also you can see virtualization technology. Yes, it is there in the thing. Okay, these are the things you have to compulsory. But we are in the RAM, compulsory check the maximum RAM capacity and model of the RAM. Okay, so what is so what you have to select RAM based on the CPU. So what you have to check it? Max RAM and speed of RAM. Okay, that is two factors you have to keep in mind, and number of RAMs. Number of RAMs. We can able to connect it. Current version is DDR4. And if you have a old system, you want to put a new RAM, won't work. You have a old system, you have a new system, but you have a old RAMs also there. You want to put it, may not work. Okay. So compulsory compatibility, you should check it based on your CPU and motherboard. Okay. Guys, look at here. There is a RAM packages also there. SIMM, DIMM, RIMM, SODIMM. Okay, so don't worry. It is a old version, like a 72 pin kind of versions are there earlier. That is a SIMM. Okay, SIMM inline memory module. Okay, DIMM is what are the RAM we are using? DIMM are a RIMM RAMs we are using. That is dual inline memory module. RIMM is a Rambus inline memory module. So what is this Rambus? Rambus inline memory module on RAM. It has a heat sink to whenever the RAM produces any heat, it will absorb the heat. Okay. So what is RIMM? Okay. So Rambus inline memory module. SODIMM, small outline DIMM, dual inline memory module. Okay. So here remember guys, SODIMM packages, SODIMM packages, SODIMM, SODIMM packages for laptops. Like you have a laptop, and the RAM size is little bit different from normal desktop RAM. Okay, so for laptops and mini PCs, we use a SODIMM type of packages. So what is this RAM package? Package means the way it is constructed. See, you can see the RAMs are look like this one. RAMs are look like this one. Okay. Then what is SODIMM is look like? RAM is look like that one, so no problem. But how the SODIMM is look like? Okay, like this. This is laptop RAM, small in size. Okay. So what to take care of in the RAM? Important points is increase the RAM size based on motherboard and CPU to increase performance of system. Okay. Increase. Okay, so increase our space. Make sure size, model, size and model must voltage levels must match. Okay, then only you can upgrade the RAM. Guys, 4 GB RAMs nowadays not good. So you better to increase the RAM. Check your processor. Go to Google and put your processor model number and check it how much you can able to do it. Or contact your laptop seller or anyone. Ask them like how to upgrade your RAM capacity. So increase the RAM capacity to 8 GB. Okay, as possible as better to change upgrade your RAM. So that is my suggestion. Okay, so this is about your RAM and is how this look like. ROM is a very big one. So ROM is a very big one. So ROM it will take at least 4 or 5 hours kind of stuff. But I will try to explain how much I can able to try. So we'll see. ROM is read-only memory. We know that one. Data stores in the ROM chip permanently. That is also we see non-volatile memory. Non-volatile memory means data won't gone even if you are shut down your computer. Okay, so that is we are talking about a ROM. So this is a ROM is nothing but a chip. Okay, it is nothing but a chip. Okay, so there instructions and data into chip while manufacturing. Okay, so the while chip manufacturing of ROM, so they put a data and instructions. You don't load anything. You don't load anything. So you want to load data into ROM chip, that is a PROM chip, means we can load the data and instructions once. That is PROM. So programmable ROM, read-only memory. Programmable read-only memory. So you can load the data using UV light or rays, ultraviolet rays. EEPROM chip. Actually, there is a EEPROM chip is there, EEPROM chip is there. I'm not going that one. So I'm going directly electrically erasable. Electrically erasable, programmable read-only memory. It means you can read and write data into chip. Okay, data into chip. So that is electrically erasable, programmable memory. Okay, guys, this is about a ROM chip. So data and instructions. No. Firmware or a firmware, any word you can use it. Firmware meaning is, okay, so firmware is nothing but a software or an application, so a software which tells how to start device. For example, you have a mobile phone, you press the power button, and how to start remaining parts, like you given only power supply, but how to start the machine, how to load OS, how to load your data, how system knows, based on the firmware only. The firmware will tell you how to start the device or how to load the device, how to load the device or a system. A lot of words are there, jumbling kind of words that is there. So there is a two type of firmwares are there, guys. BIOS, UEFI. BIOS means basic input output system. UEFI, unified extensible firmware interface. Okay, UEFI, unified extensible firmware interface. It is nothing but update version of BIOS. Update version of BIOS. So these are the two major types of your firmware in the computers. Two type of firmware in the computers. As UEFI is a new one, BIOS is a old one. That's it. Okay, and of course UEFI provide a certain services. UEFI give you GPT type of disk. If you don't understand, also no problem. So later you will understand. Okay, UEFI, the disk type is GPT type of disk. Virtualization is already enabled, so not that one. Secure boot. Okay, secure boot it will provide. So certain features of UEFI is there, so don't worry about BIOS or UFI, both are framewares only. Both are framewares only. So what is this firmware contains? Firmware or firmware contains whether it is BIOS or a UEFI. So what it is contained? It is a chip, right? It contains a software. What is that software? It contains information about motherboard, directly on motherboard components, about motherboard and on motherboard components, information about motherboard and on motherboard components. Okay, connected on motherboard components like CPU, RAM kind of stuff. CPU, RAM, adapters like a GPU, graphic card, AGP or okay, GPU kind of stuff. AGP, GPU kind of stuff, audio cards, LAN cards, like NIC cards, like this, that information. Next, connected to motherboard is like hard disk, PD, RAM, DVD drive, floppy disk kind of stuff, keyboard, okay, keyboard, LEDs, front panel connections, keyboard, USB, like that. So all the devices are connected to motherboard. Meaning is all hardware information stores in your firmware. Meaning is what it is meaning, all hardware information stores in BIOS, but not fixed one, not a fixed one, guys. That's why I written three parts. What is it is your BIOS is on motherboard. BIOS is on motherboard. It meaning is motherboard manufacturer manufacturer motherboard manufacturer put details about motherboard. Okay, so that's why it is all motherboard data is there in your motherboard only, in a BIOS directly, permanently. Next one is when you insert a CPU, RAM and all, when you power on it, it get the information of CPU, RAM and any other devices are connected, hard disk connected, DVD is connected, any devices you are connected to the motherboard directly or through directly connected or wire connection, whatever it is, every device of a computer is connected to motherboard only. Okay, so obviously your BIOS chip or a firmware chip get the details of your BIOS chip, get the details of all devices connected on or to motherboard. Okay, so this is the frame where we'll do it. What is the advantage of that one is it will show like this, guys. When you power on the system, BIOS test the system, okay, all components are working or not. Okay, so this is called a power on self test. Power on self test. Meaning is when system power on, system test itself. Test itself. So then it knows that the connected device is working, not working. If it is working, what is their details? So that is a power on self test. That is a power on self test. Why I written like this? Power on self test is the first point in the boot processing. Guys, compulsory question, boot processing. That's why I'm telling all BIOS kind of stuff. It is the first point is in a boot processing is a post. What is post? Power on self test. Power on self test. When you power on the system test itself. That is a power on self test. Okay, so how it can you do the power on self test? By using a firmware. So that is the main part of firmware. Okay, next. In BIOS, we have a boot priority. We have a boot priority, guys. Remember like this. So boot priority means when you start your computer, so power on self test is completed. Now you should load the operating system from the hard disk or maybe CD-ROM, maybe network, maybe pen drive like this. Okay, so I will write in a brackets. Here it is. When post is success, it means post is done. Every device is working. When post is success, okay. What is the next step is load SEARCH. Search for operating system location, or you can say bootloader location. Okay, so this is the one important step. So for that step purpose, BIOS has a boot priority. For example, CD-ROM, CD or DVD, for example. Okay, next one is hard disk. Next one is removable drive. Removable drive or a removable drive. So removable drive network. So this is my boot priority, guys. So what happened? I start my computer. Now system is done a power on self test. Try to search a OS from CD or DVD. Now CD and DVD is not inserted. Not inserted. Nothing is there. Or the CD does not have OS. Then it will search for a hard disk. Hard disk contains a bootable files and load OS from hard disk. Load OS from hard disk. And it don't check the remaining things. Important is boot priority. It check line by line. If in case it find a OS, then load the OS from there. Guys, for example, I have a fresh PC, no voice at all. I start my computer. So it is such a voice from CD DVD, no CD DVD. And it's such a try to load operating system from hard disk. No hard disk. Hard disk does not contain operating system. Next, it will for a search for a removable drive. For example, I put a voice in my pen drive and I inserted. I put a voice in my pen drive and I inserted. So what it will do? It take the voice from the removable drive. Okay. So same thing. It is not find voice from these three devices. It try to find from network. Through network also you can install the operating system. We can boot the operating system also possible. Okay. So that is boot priority. So boot priority means locate the operating system from the device and in the priority order. So when it is very important in a boot processing, once a post is successful, then it search for a OS location or a bootloader location. Okay. So this is the one of the setting is there. We can change the setting manually. You can change the settings manually. You can enable or disable, or you can change settings of hardware features. As I said, example is virtualization, enable kind of stuff. Some PCs don't have a virtualization, or some people having a virtualization in the processor, but it is disabled. The feature is disabled. You can enable it to get it. Okay, so that is enable or disable the features. When you buy a laptop, like your brother brought a laptop from the Singapore, and it is something operating system is not working. You try to install a OS which is you have. It is not installing. Why? Because of in the hardware they told use this particular operating system model only. Don't use any other operating system models. Clocking, like you can increase the speed of your processor. You can disable the devices. You can enable the particular devices or features. You can able to do it. So it stores settings like this. Okay, it shows the boot priority. It stores information about your system. Okay, it stores the settings. It stores time and date. Okay, and also password. Guys, this is a hardware related password, BIOS password. This password is BIOS password, not not your OS passwords. If you forget your Windows machine password, you should crack it as per your requirement. But it is not stores in your BIOS. Okay, there is no relationship. Okay, there is no relationship. So date and time for stores in your PC, passwords are stores. Okay, guys, BIOS means basic input output system, UFI, extensible firmware interface, unified extensible firmware interface. Both are firmwares. So on motherboard, what are the chipsets data is there? So that is stores in your BIOS only. And about priority stores, enable disable of hardware features. Okay, and the information about your CPU, RAM, and hard disk. Information about CPU, RAM, and hard disk. Okay, date and time and passwords. But these settings, date and time, passwords are temporary. Meaning is when power is off, when power is off, uh, uh, BIOS data lost, meaning is reset to factory default. Reset to factory default. So it is when power off, data lost, reset to factory default. It is nice if you know the future phones kind of stuff, like small mobile phone, future mobile phone, and suddenly you remove the battery. So what happened? The date and time, everything is gone to factory default. Same thing will happen if you power off it. To protect it from happening, so what you do? We use a battery. It's a battery. The battery is made up of lithium 3 volts battery. Yeah, someone is trying to tell something. Tell me.
Cmos battery, sir.
Yes, very good. Okay. So it is also called as Cmos. A lot of people will confuse. When I said battery means it is a lithium battery, but it is also a Cmos battery. And immediately when you are take anyone class, even my class, when it is CMOS, immediately will tell the abbreviation of CMOS. So then people will confuse. This battery is made up of CMOS technology. Okay, the battery is lithium ion battery. Lithium battery. So lithium battery is not made up of CMOS technology. Okay, very good. So CMOS battery is not made up of CMOS technology. So the battery supports voltage and current is suitable for CMOS chips. That's why it is called as a CMOS battery. Okay, so that's a old terminology that still we are using, and it is continuing. So you go to the market, you ask for lithium 3 volts battery, so they don't understand. You go and market, you ask for a CMOS battery, they understand. So which one is correct? Okay, like that. So CMOS technology is not a battery technology. CMOS technology is a semiconductor technology. Complementary. I don't type big one. CMOS. The complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Okay, Google also it is showing the battery. So how it is look like a battery? Just first we'll see it. So this is the battery, but this is the actually CMOS. CMOS is a technology. It's a combination of NMOS and PMOS. It's a combination of NMOS and PMOS. So both combination it become a CMOS. That's it. It's a complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So by these combinations, it achieve high speed switching, and more control over the logical gates. More control over the logical gates. You can able to get it. So that is CMOS. CMOS is actually a chip like this. This is the battery. It is a lithium battery, 3 volts battery. The voltage level is support the CMOS chipset is enough of 3 volts battery. By using this CMOS battery, the data in the ROM chip is not resetted to factory default. It's a semiconductor. It is nothing but a transistor. Okay, lot of people don't agree also. So CMOS is a transistor. Original name of CMOS is CMOS FET. Full name is CMOS FET. Even it is not a CMOS, it is because it's NMOS and PMOS. So you have to give the gap. Complementary means NMOS plus CMOS, right? Yes, N plus P type. N channel, P channel. MOS, metal oxide. Metal oxide, semiconductor. FET, field effective transistor. Field effective transistor. Complementary, metal oxide, semiconductor, field effective transistor. So it is a transistor. It is a transistor. Some people don't agree it. Okay. So whatsoever it is, some people means like, sorry, no. CMOS means only battery. Okay. It's okay. But what I know from my side, I am telling that. Okay. So it's a 3 volts lithium battery supported for your BIOS. Last part I want to tell, and I will leave that one. BIOS settings. Guys, what are the here nowadays people are background it is. People don't know basic computer technique. That too, the basic BIOS settings. Even though they never hear about the BIOS settings, also people are there. So what is this BIOS setting? Where we can enable or disable or change the settings of BIOS. So we can change settings of your hardware. We can change the settings. We can view the settings. Okay, mainly for troubleshooting. One is for a troubleshooting. Second one is for a one is for a troubleshooting. Second one is usually like to change the features. Okay, to change the features. Troubleshooting and change settings means to change the features, and we can view the features troubleshooting purpose. Okay, certain feature we can access, that is also used. But how to go to BIOS settings? Okay, guys, we are using a Windows 10. More maximum all our PCs are Windows 10 PCs only. So it is quite easy to go to BIOS setting because your UEFI candidate directly very easily they can go for it without doing more hard work. But pure BIOS candidates also there. So you are having a laptops, old laptops, and only BIOS feature is enabled in that one, and you install operating system inside, and you got a BIOS features only, not UEFI features. So then it is little bit problem. No problem because BIOS is a old one. You are using BIOS from so many years. What you have to do? Put it your company name, like for example HP, Lenovo, what it is. It's a HP laptop or a desktop. Which one is you are doing? Put the model of your HP, model number. You can also tell model number and tell go to BIOS settings, BIOS keys, BIOS setup like this. Okay. Go to all. So then find it. So how I enter the laptop like this. Okay. The traditional way of going to BIOS, because that time it is a Dell computer. So first of all, restart a power on system. Does not mean you have to power on the system and wait for 1 hour. It is not like that. It's immediately. Immediately. Yes. Dell. In some cases, Dell works. Some cases, escape. In some cases, F10, function key F10, F2, F12, F9. Okay, so mostly it is like that. F1, in some places F1 is also there. Okay, so depends upon your system, guys. When you are start your computer, in the bottom, if you look at enter into the setup, the keyword will be shows. You can try that one also. Okay, so once you do that, you'll get into the BIOS screen. So in the BIOS screen, So what to do? So you can want to change any settings, you can change it, or you don't want to change anything, you can not leave it. So only one thing is, I want to show that one now. Don't worry, guys. If you are getting a headache or anything, just give me a 2 minutes. I will complete and leave it. Okay. Yeah, I will go to my better this one only. I already spoiled this machine. This is my virtual machine, guys. All control insert. All control insert. Guys, if you have to look at faster. Yeah, fast is gone. So again, I'm rebooting, and you can look at when it is showing VMware in the down, how to go to BIOS settings. Okay. See, fastly it is booting. Very fastly it is booting. See, I am unable to, because it's a Windows XP, right? So like press F2 to enter setup. Press F2 to enter setup. I am keep pressing Alt Control Delete. If you don't know what you are getting, so start your computer, press Alt Control Delete. I missed it again. Yeah, so we missed it. Yeah, it's a fraction of second it is gone. Because it's a virtual machine. If I got a problem, so only, oh, why it is doing like that? Yeah, because of this mouse problem is also there. So I will go to my any new other PCs, as well as reduce the RAM. Okay. What happened? I done very fast way. No, last trial. So don't worry. What? So press F2 or escape. Waste fellow. Better is not like this. Better power off. So I'm pressing like this. It will take time. It is not giving any time. Reduce the RAM. Make it more very less like that. Low speed RAM. Yeah, this is giving any. Yeah, finally I got it. Okay. So, see, look at guys. This is the date and time. Can you able to see the screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the,
Yes, sir.
yeah, very good, very good. This is the Phonics BIOS date and time. It keep running as long as the BIOS battery is alive. If date and time is not running properly or reset to be resetted, so then it is reset to factory default. So what we can call that one as battery is over. Okay, see, this is a hard disk. Two hard disk I have, one CD-RAM. Okay, two hard disk, one CD-RAM. 40 GB, 40 GB. Okay, this is CD-RAM. Okay, I given 128 GB, right? Extended memory, there you can see system memory is different showing. Next, advanced, you can see that 10 features are there. It shows very less. Why? Because it's a virtual machine related one. Serial port, parallel port, floppy disk controllers. Okay, large disk access mode, local bus, see, advanced chip control. Okay, security, you want to give a password to protect. So anybody want to change this BIOS setting possible, right? So then I will protect it only to protect, to change the BIOS. This is the boot priority. So first one is hard disk. Okay, so next one is here like this. So you can change it by pressing plus and minus kind of stuff. Okay, so see, like this. I want to put like this: remove drive first, CD-RAM is like a first, so I can change it. So first one is CD-RAM. It check it, voice is there in CD-RAM or not. Then it is check is voice there in remote disk or like that. Voice is there in network boot. Voice is there in a hard disk, like that. It verify from one by one device and load the operating system. Finally, it is exit and save setting. Exit and save settings. That is the final one, guys. First of all, important is how to go to BIOS settings. When you press the power button, and in the screen, on the screen only, it will show us how to go to BIOS settings. So what you will do, if you have a practice, keep pressing Alt Control Delete in your physical machine. So then you know the screen will be repeated. It won't go to load the screen. Like I got a screen like that, no? So that is virtual machine, no problem. This is virtual machine, no problem. Physical machine is not like that. Very quickly it load the OS, and you should not restart the machine very frequently. Okay, very frequently you should not restart the machine. So what to do? So make sure how to go to BIOS setting, BIOS button, and press the key, go to the BIOS settings, and look at the BIOS setting, what you can able to see it. And why we should go to the BIOS settings, to change the settings. And as already I told, you must know how to change the BIOS settings for a virtualization enabled feature. So make sure your system is having a virtualization enabled feature is enabled or not. If not enabled, you must enable with the BIOS settings. So this is it, guys, about your BIOS settings, how it is look like, and that's it. Yeah, it is giving more time now. This is it, try to boot from the OS from the network. It is try to boot the OS from the network. I got a lot of time now. See, BIOS settings, very easy. Yeah, you can get it. Like you can see the bottom of the line. Press F2 to enter the setup. Depends upon the manufacturer to manufacturer. Okay, setup will be different. Different manufacturer of BIOS is there. Okay, BIOS manufacturers. Are there like a Phonics. Whatever it is, Phonics BIOS, AWARD BIOS, Award BIOS, Yami BIOS, American Megatrend Inc. BIOS, okay, HP BIOS, Dell BIOS, like a different type of manufacturers. Based on the manufacturers, different type of keys to enter it is. So Dell is a universal earlier, later on days, so different type of keys also coming. Okay, so this is about your BIOS setting. As I said earlier, if in case your BIOS settings showed old data, like a date and time resetted back to the old, So what is happening? BIOS battery is over, completed, or someone is removed. So replace the BIOS battery. So that's it, guys. That's about your BIOS. Any doubts regarding BIOS settings? BIOS?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, because time's up now. Everybody will tell no only. Now, Wallace. Okay.
Really, no, sir.
Okay, now follow, now follow. Very good. Okay. So we discussed about RAM and ROM. So tomorrow, anyway, we started this one. Tomorrow also we'll discuss about what is SMPS, basics of hard disk, and finally boot processing.
Sir, tomorrow is holiday.
Tomorrow means next class. Next class.
Okay.
Tomorrow is a holiday, guys. So compulsory study. I will also forward certain service desk related things for a service desk people, and networking you can coordinate with others. Okay, so if you need any material, you can search it, study.
Sir, this hardware is come from service desk.
For mainly for service desk people, and maybe there is a basic questions in a previous interviews. Also, we got some interview questions from hardware, like what is the difference between RAM and ROM? Tell me about RAM. What is 32-bit and 64-bit? Like these questions also came to for non-service desk people also. So that's why I'm covering for both the people. Okay. Okay, guys, I will share this notepad file and I will stop the record. Okay, so someone put a question. Yeah, I will share the PPTs. Don't worry. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.